retailers are really working through some of the issues in the macro economy with tariffs and things like that. And there's a very big focus right now on total cost of ownership inside of these brands. So one thing we see as a very significant trend is how do they make their tech stack simpler, reduce the total cost of ownership, but still get strong value out of the platforms that they have and they run their e-commerce solution.
Some of the things that we're seeing from a commerce platform perspective is the idea that commerce as a business strategy needs to be supported with multi-dimensional growth. You're thinking marketplaces, new markets, new types of commerce experiences, social commerce, TikTok shops, the ability to take commerce into stores. And a lot of organizations really need to have that sort of flexible and large footprint of capabilities to achieve that.
So the Incisiv report, I think, is really insightful. We really value their research. We wanted to be a sponsor for it because one of the trends we're seeing is that the overall mock architecture that was very popular kind of in the early 2020, 2021 timeframe, there's been a bit of backlash to it, right? I think there was the goal to really have a composable, best of breed solution created. So when we think about composable regret, one of the things that we're seeing is that there are companies out there that have spent millions of dollars in multiple years trying to implement a very composable solution. And at the end of the day, there is regret because now they're dealing with 6 different vendors. Now they're dealing with long implementation times and the payoff is just not there. And so then you have, on top of that, a maintenance issue that you have to deal with. And we find that people talk about spending more time trying to integrate these solutions and work them together in a way that their merchants can use them efficiently. And that has not panned out. Yeah, I think we hear a similar message that people realize, they're good intentions when mock formed, but architecture can't just be done for the sake of building the perfect architecture. There has to be a balance against what a business is trying to do with achievable revenue goals and profit goals versus just going down the path of total buildability and composability for the sake of a perfect architecture.
First and foremost, the reason I think the report is important is the fact that people are making business critical investment decisions on where to bet next, what their roadmap looks like from a commerce platform perspective. And we wanted to obviously introduce a governing framework for them to be able to make smarter choices as they go through that journey. What we've found is that there is an opportunity to really think about where you're going to place your bets and not necessarily get distracted by what we think today are just table stakes for most modern commerce platforms. And that's the whole point about giving organizations the choice and flexibility and freedom of choosing what sort of technology strategy fits their business goals and needs. So we wanted to provide a perspective on that. That's what we've done. And VTEX for us fits that bill perfectly. I think some of the choices that they're making in terms of how they're building that platform out over the next few years aligns quite nicely with this idea of decomposable, integrated components that give you the opportunity to go fast where you need to and go deeply customized where you need to.
We really believe and have always believed at VTEX that composability is great, but it has to be practical. And so the value comes from really the outcome at the end of the day. And when you need differentiation in a certain area, do it, but don't do composability for the sake of architecture at the end of the day.